Testing. We'll get started in just a second, guys. I'm just checking my levels. All right. So happy Monday, guys. Beginning June, we got a new market that we're opening up to. We got a lot of stuff that's happening today. It's keeping us on our toes and just gonna get to the money. That's the goal, ain't it? So first, let's get started with some of my favorites. I'm gonna start off just with SPY. It's got super easy to do. 1 second, guys. All right. So we finished off the month. SPY, we basically end up touching this around this 595, the supply zone that we have right here, before rejecting again. Hold on. Here we go. So here we go. Yeah. So we basically all of May we saw like this drop down in April, and then May we pretty much rallied, which was actually a strong rally overall. And the thing about that is when we typically have these type of rallies, well, first of all, June is typically a weaker month, but when we have these type of rallies, like a strong positive rallies, we tend to have a nice, pretty positive June following that after, which usually kind of goes against the trend of they'll say sell in May and go away. So I'm just show you what we kind of are facing now as we begin this new week. We have a lot of things happening as like Powell just had his first meeting with Trump ever since they had all the discussions about rate cuts. They had a face-to-face meeting, and Powell's actually given a speech today, and no one really knows what that's going to be about, but I'm sure it'll be exciting. Here, I'm just going to mark this out for you guys. 1 second. If I can find my stuff. Start off kind of marking out this resistance zone that we have. This like the supply zone that we have. Just expand this on. All right, here we go. All right, yeah. So you've seen the like in this past few areas. This is back in all the way November 2024. Every time we reach this same like supply zone, once we get towards like this 595 and 600 level, I'm turning you guys so you can see a little more. Yeah, every time we get towards this 595 and 600 level, we'll always kind of end up like topping out. It's been repeatedly, at least it's about 4 times, and now we're approaching this same level again. And we see we topped out right around 595, like right before even entering the supply zone. And this is where we start to show another weakness again. So what I'm looking for now is there really needs to be an assessment of there's kind of like this weighing going on of like how much true fear there really is between tariffs and the negotiations that Trump is doing, as long as also with the valuations of some of our stocks. And that's why you end up seeing like this small pullback we had Friday, right? So what we're looking at now, even though we're in an uptrend, we do have some gaps below. So I'm going to show you one of the trends that we're in. It's been pretty steady so far. So we're bouncing along this trend line, and I see us around at 587. So today you're going to kind of see everything kind of play out, some rebalancing happening as we push back up. As we could push back up towards this 595 area. Let me make that a little bit bigger for you guys. as we push back up towards this 595 area. And this is where we're going to start seeing if we're going to continue some strength. But it is Monday, so I'll let everything kind of play out. And then once we get past 600 area, we can really start pushing. But if we see weakness and start breaking below 595, we'll go towards like this 585. If we break this trend line, that's when we really can start seeing these filling of these small gaps that we have right here, which actually show if I show you this. That one. Try to pull this up. There you go. Yeah. So you start seeing some of these fair value gaps, but we also have just these little small gap fills to the downside that could send us back down to 580 pretty easily. And it's something just I'm paying attention to in the meantime. But we're still very much in a trend. Upward trend. But the market overall is just cautiously optimistic. So individual stocks that I'm typically looking at right now, of course, I got to pay attention to what's not stock, but the VIX. And this is basically like our volatility or like fear index. And so typically when you see this go up, you typically see the stocks fall, that stock market fall, usually. And lean off on Friday, the last couple of days, I marked this out for my group. We went into a demand zone to where it kind of bottomed out. That's when we started to see some of that little bit of a pullback, but then that started to die down some too. So we're still in this demand zone, and we have to really see if fear really is going to build up and we're going to head back up towards 23, 25 plus, or it's going to actually break below and we're going to start to see more of a rally. So that's something I'm paying attention to with that. Some key levels with the VIX is $20. This $20 psychology level. Above that, you typically show that we have a lot more fear around the market. But that's just something to keep on your radar. But the first real stock that I pay attention to, especially this month, is going to be Tesla. This ticker symbol TSLA. Here, I don't know. Make this a little more clear for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Here you go. So here's Tesla. This is on the weekly time frame. You see overall Tesla is overall bullish still, but what we kind of see, figure this up for you guys. On this week, we kind of end off on this wick off top, which is actually it's a bearish signal. You're basically showing like a rejection that happened right here, but it's still time to see that fully play out, and we can break above this. But this shows like a little bit of weakness that we left off with, even though this is considered a two up, which is like considered bullish overall, but it's a failed two up. So it's like it's rejecting off hitting this wall, and then we're gonna see where we kind of open up at. If we continue to show weakness, we can easily retrace to like 330 down to 315 and 300. That could happen pretty quickly. But as we enter June, June is typically one of the most bullish times for Tesla. And the fact that we also have some catalysts coming up with the robo-taxi event. I believe that's June 12th, where they're actually launching the robo-taxis. And that actually, excuse me, but that actually can lead Tesla to keep pushing, which is why we've also started to see some bullish flow come in on the options contracts for 450. But Tesla definitely, I can see this hitting towards 400 pretty easily, honestly. So I'm gonna show you how I'm looking at this setup. There you go. to the daily time frame. So what you're looking at now, these are my 9 and my 20-day EMA. And if you see that we're like kind of riding above this, that shows that the bulls are still for now in control. We've come down to test this line right here, but if we break below it, we'll definitely go down to touch about, like I was saying, about 330, and down to the 20 EMA is right at 330 honestly, before retrying upward towards this 360 mark. And so what I like to do is just kind of mark out my trend lines first, just to get a good idea of like what I'm looking at visually. Like I have my EMAs, but also I just like to reinforce it. Panda visual. This doesn't have to be pretty, guys, just so you can kind of like visualize it. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. But yeah, so we basically coming down. We're gonna test this trend line around this 340 mark before kind of pushing back up. If we maintain this bullish momentum that we're having, and once we break through 360 and this 365, which has kind of caused Tesla some trouble because we've kind of hit this area, this 365 area for like the past 3-4 days, and we still haven't broken through. Which, when you have like repeated resistance at a certain level and you don't break through, it begins to get harder to break through that level. So I'll be looking for now for Teslas, we go down